Okay, so Street Fighter 6 is one of the best fighting games I've played in a very, very long time. The only thing that I think could really compare to this would be Smash Brothers Ultimate, at least released in the past 20 years. And I would say that as a Street Fighter game, this is the best foundation that they've had since Street Fighter 2. A lot of times those Street Fighter games will come out and they're kind of iffy at the start. Street Fighter 3 and 5 in particular, and then they were eventually made better through iterations and, Super Turbo editions. This game is packed out and amazing right from the get-go. A lot of things that were missing in 5, like it felt very bare bones. It was missing a lot of single-player content and things like that. 6 just blows through. There's tons of single-player stuff. And the netcode is amazing. The little bit of online play I've had has been phenomenal. It's great. And the rank mode put me with players I've considered of my own skill. And so I did a really good job there. And I was particularly enamored with World Tour mode. So World Tour mode is this giant single player campaign, similar to Grand Theft Auto. It's nowhere near the quality of Grand Theft Auto, but you kind of go around the streets and you fight everybody, and then you collect power-ups and goodies. And one of the coolest things you do is it's the story of your character. It isn't specific to the main roster of fighters, but you meet the main roster and they become your masters and they teach you the moves. And one of the coolest things you can do is your custom character that you make can have he might have Ryu's fireballs, but he might have Zangief's spinning pile driver, and you can customize these things and kind of take super moves and put them in bits and pieces. As you learn from your master, they'll teach you more moves, and this is just addictive as hell. It's great to go and kind of make your own person, and then as you're learning from the masters, they're telling you backstory. So it's you'll learn Gal's backstory from the games, and then you'll learn stuff what he likes to drink. He likes to drink espressos and coffees and stuff like that. And it's this kind of little flavor that's added to each character is so much more to their story in a lot of ways, and even more than an arcade mode. Because how many times has Ryu fought M. Bison? A bagillion times. But now you'll learn about Ryu's background. You'll teach him how to use a phone, which is freaking great. A smartphone, and he, as slow as he gets better, texting you as you're going through. And it's just one of those things, as you play as the man, I'm addicted as hell, and there's so much lore and stuff brought in. Now, the actual story itself, between the characters they add in, that doesn't particularly impress me all that much, but I love this game. And it took me around 30 hours to do the story, so it's beefy. It's really beefy for a fighting game. And then I think it could be done as at 20-ish if you just do just the main thing. But I mean, you can't stop. You can't stop talking to your master, learning new moves. Freaking, where's my Sonic Boom at? Gal was stingy about giving me that damn Sonic Boom, but I finally got it, and it's just I couldn't stop playing. It's great, and I don't know if I would say that the World Tour alone is worth paying a full price for, but it's on up there. It's on up there. It's graphically, it's nothing amazing, but it's freaking phenomenal. And then after you're done with World Tour, you've got the entire actual Street Fighter game. And while it only runs, I think is it 16 or 18? It doesn't have all that many characters. Still, to me, the characters added were so great. Not only from the ones that they brought in before that they revamped, but the new characters. Manon is freaking awesome. It's freaking cool as shit. And just I like almost everyone there. They revamped. They made DJ cool. And they not only made DJ cool, they made him a super S tier badass. It's what Street Fighter really needed. It needed to be brought forward. New designs for the characters. A lot of people have complaints about the music. I personally like the music a pretty good bit, but it's weird. And when it lands pretty good. When it doesn't land, it's awful. But it's just one of those things that I think that people will grow to like over time. Third Strike's soundtrack back in the day is what it reminds me a lot of, and that was the same thing. Some of that stuff is just weird. It's weird to this day, but it's generally these days regarded as a great soundtrack. Graphically, it's tight and it's amazing. And on PC, you can crank the dang settings up, man. It was pretty dang optimized. Do not like that it doesn't have DLSS, but I'm pretty sure that there's already been some guy made a mod for it, and so you can get DLSS on these games, even if they're AMD improved or whatever. But I had so much dang fun, and I was a jaded player for a long time. Street Fighter 4, I felt mechanically I didn't like it. It felt like graphically nowhere near as good as its contemporary games like Virtua Fighter 5 at the time. But this game's tight, this game's stout, and it puts, in my opinion, Capcom back up. And I'm so glad that the netcode is freaking great. And overall, I think this is an easy recommend. It is designed literally for players who haven't played Street Fighter before, or they're intimidated, or they mainly play Smash Brothers. You can come in, you can do these modern controls that will make special moves way easier to do. They balance it. You do 20% less damage. A lot of older players are bitching about it. I think that's a great addition. Just don't force me to play it like they did in a tutorial. It pissed me off. But it's one of those things that you bring in, and you can, as you play in World Tour mode, it's teaching you how to play the game. It's like teaching you to look for counter hits. It's teaching you the little mechanics. It's teaching you the crazy-ass drive gauge shit. And the drive gauge shit is just awesome. It adds so much more flavor to all of the fighters, how you want to play, whether you want to be aggressive from the start and just burn out, or you want to try to, be conservative as shit and hope that the other character kind of wears himself out and then you can break them that way. Some people are going to bitch about drive impact. It's one of those things, it's like when it gets used on you, you feel real bad, but when you use on them, it feels really good. And it's just mainly, you learn to bait this shit out. It's what you kind of have to do. So if you're a long-term Street Fighter fan, this is the one to come back to. I know that 5 let a lot of people down. As an older player, 5 left me really pissed off. I felt it was like, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. We bitched about 5 enough, Kitty. We spent like 10 years bitching about it. But it's back. Street Fighter is back, and it is exciting, once again. And then for the DLC characters stuff, I'm actually interested, as opposed to, I'm not going to spend no money on these. I might buy some characters here and there. One of the cool things that normally they do charge for the damn costumes if you want to just buy them, but they're also unlockable in World Tour. Now later on, they're probably going to charge you $5 for each Chun-Li bikini. Just wait for your, don't buy all that shit. Just wait for your Super Turbo Edition version. But overall, Street Fighter 6 is a top notch, and it's a game of the year 2023 contender. Straight up, and it's amazing. And if you've always been curious about Street Fighter, but you've been intimidated, you can just come in and just play this shit, and then just play the World Tour mode. You don't have to go online. You don't have to play ranked against all the sweaty dudes. Very high up. Brian loves the gameplay, loves the drive rush, loves the new systems, loves the aggressiveness of it. Kitty is glad that they brought back, so much lore, that they reinvigorated the characters. That, Ken's now, he's a bum now, and it's like freaking just this magnificent. It's like exactly what he needed to do. He needed to be a homeless bum. More characters should be homeless bums. But very much a recommend. Make sure to get this. It is absolutely worth full price.